Hello everyone, welcome to the online lecture series of Vehicle Testing and Homologation. I am Milan Trivedi, professor at LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. And this is our 17th lecture in online lecture series of VTH. And from the last two lectures, we are discussing about the sixth chapter of VTH, that is the Vehicle Testing on Chassis Dynamometer. Up till now, we had seen how to test the vehicle on the chassis dynamometer. Apart from that topic, we had already discussed about the wheel alignment and wheel balancing in the last class. Now let us proceed further with the remaining test. Our next test is the side slip test. This test basically comes under the same section of the wheel alignment and balancing part, as this alignment and balancing is limited to the checking of misalignment of wheel or the imbalancing of the wheel. But sometimes there is problem with the axle also. So how to check the problem which is present in the axle part? In order to check that, we are doing this side slip test, and the apparatus is called as a side slip tester. Basically, in a view, it appears like this. We are just having one side plate which can be shifted from left to right. Apart from that, we will be having one computer console on which we can get the certain reading. You will be having a diagram of left as well as right wheel. Whenever we place that particular wheel on the side slip plate, and if we drive the wheel, then the plate will try to move left or right. We will have a better look in the next diagram. Side slip tester, basically in detail it appears like this, which is having two rollers at both of its end, and in between we are having one plate. This plate can easily slide towards left or right. So what will happen when we take the vehicle on this particular bed, and once it starts rotating, this sideway rollers keep the vehicle steady at one place. But if there is imbalance present in the axle part, then obviously the vehicle will try to deviate towards left or right. The deviation of the wheel will be transmitted to this particular plate area, and that displacement of the plate would be recorded, and it will indicate that in the terms of meter per kilometer, that say for example per kilometer in the front axle the deviation is seen of 6 meter, whether in the case of rear axle it is seen as 8 meter per kilometer. Obviously this is one unit, but if you want to check the axle problem in both part, then you need to have a this kind of two arrangements, one for the front axle, another for the rear axle. In this way, we can find out the value of deviation or the problem with the axle. Now let us discuss the another test, that is a brake test. Brake test is considered as one of the important aspect to understand, as it have a maximum emphasis on the accident part. If this brake is not working properly, then obviously it can lead to even a fatality. So brake test is considered as one of the prime aspect as far as automobile testing is concerned. Now let us understand how this brake test happens. And later on we will see the different types of brake test which is happening nowadays. First of all, in order to even understand the brake test, let us start with the basic aspect, that what is actually happening when we are applying a brake. Whenever we are applying a brake with a brake paddle foot, the vacuum booster will boost up the vacuum. It will release certain working fluid. That particular fluid will pass across this caliper region, and this caliper region will be pushed along. This is how the brake is applied. But what we need to check is the applied force in the brake is proper or not. Because if the brake force is too much excessive, then also the brake fading will be faster, as well as we face a problem of short braking, in which the momentum will be transferred in the frontal part, as well as if the brake pads are worn out and it will not work as per the specified efficiency, then also we will face a problem of uneven braking. So it is desired to have a proper brake test. Now let us understand how this particularly brake test happens. In this testing, we are having a two different option. The first one is a roll brake test. In the roll brake test, we are having the similar kind of setup which is available in the case of chassis dynamometer. We had already understand in the chassis dynamometer that vehicle is traveled across two different rollers. Once a vehicle will be driven, it will try to drive the roller, and the power which is available at the roller would be noted with the help of dynamometer. That was the case of chassis dynamometer. But in the case of roll brake test, the scenario would be 360-degree opposite. Instead of vehicle driving a roller, roller will try to drive the particular wheel of the vehicle. Let us understand how. First of all, vehicle will be brought under these two particular rollers. Then what will happen? We will drive the roller with the help of certain motor. Now that RPM of roller would be transmitted to the wheels. Then we will gradually apply the brake. By applying the brake, what exactly will happen will be, it will try to stop the roller, and the amount of force which is received at that roller part would be noticed with the help of force transducers, right? That force transducer will give you the value of amount of brake force which is generated while applying a brake. This is in this kind of reverse way we can find out the brake force available. Yes, but at that particular point at which wheel gets slipping above the ruler, at that particular time we need to stop the experiment. But prior to that, we need to continue with the experiment. Again, I will revise that we need to take the vehicle on this particular roller. Roller is actually driven by some external motor. Then from the vehicle, we need to apply a brake. So it will try to stop the roller, and roller along with drive, it is attached with force transducer device which gives the value of force getting generated. Another is a plate brake tester. Plate brake tester is a easiest type of test. And this we need to drive the vehicle along these two different plates. These plates can easily shift. We need to drive vehicle with certain speed. When it comes on this particular tester region, side tester region, we need to apply a brake. Whenever we are applying a brake, this plate will try to shift. Thus both plate will try to shift, and it is also having attachment with force transducer device which will give the kind of analog reading that on the left particular section this much force has been received, and the right section this much force has been received. So in this particular way also we can find out the amount of braking force which is getting generated. The reason to find out the brake force is that there is a lot of impact on that braking force on the stopping distance and the stopping time. Now let us understand which are the different brake testing method. Broadly, if we see, then we are having the three different types of brake test method. The first one is P type, second one is H type, third one is W type. Now let us understand this particular abbreviations in a detail. First one, P type. P type test is actually the dynamic performance type of test. Particularly on this three type of test, we require this kind of decelerometer. Decelerometer can be easily fixed on the vehicle which is traveling. Then whenever we apply a brake, it will notice the stopping distance as well as stopping time, right? Decelerometer, the amount of deceleration which is achieved, right? The time to decelerate that particular distance, right? That will be noted with the help of this kind of decelerometer. Okay, so let us understand how this P-type test perform. In the P-type test, we will drive the vehicle at certain speed, at a specific speed, it will be driven. Then we will suddenly apply a brake, but that brake would be in a continuous way. We do not need to stop in between. Gradually we need to apply a brake, but it must be in a continuous way. Then we will notice what is the reading in this decelerometer. That reading would be taken as a P type of test reading. Another is a F type test. F type, that is F is actually standing for friction. Here P is standing for the performance. Friction, where there is a chances of friction, obviously there is a chances of development of heat. But how this particularly heat is being developed at the particularly brake testing part, the generation of heat is normally due to the repeatedly application of the brake, and this will happen if we drive a vehicle for a longer time duration. Then and then only we can find out the brake test F type reading. So let us understand how this particularly test happens. For the F type test, the design standard is such that we need to drive vehicle at least for 1 kilometer. After 1 kilometer, we will apply one brake. At that time, decelerometer will give the value of stopping distance, stopping time. Then again, we will travel for 1 kilometer. We will again notice the value of decelerometer. This we will do up till 15 times. So what will happen due to the repeated application of the brake, there is a generation of heat, and due to that heat effect, what is the change in the decelerometer reading, that we will find out, right? So in this particular way, we need to check out what is the effect of heat generation on the braking part. Third type is the W type test. W type test, here it is written as a water. W stands for water fade test, but this is not a condition in which the track is being kept wet. Here track will be dry condition, but the braking part would be sprinkled with the water. That brake part would be covered with the water, which is having temperature less than 30 degrees centigrade. Then what we will do is, we will travel a vehicle for a 500-meter of distance, then we will apply a brake, and we will notice what is the reading of decelerometer, right? Now what we need to check is, what is the change in the reading of decelerometer in respect to P-type test, right? There should not be deviation more than 10% of value. If it is there, we need to go for the correction. Similarly, when we are going for even F-type test, on during the 15th reading, we need to compare that 15th reading with the P-type reading. If it is deviation of more than 10%, it does not permit that particular vehicle. So we need to go for certain correction, right? So that's all about this particular brake test. Now let us understand the headlight alignment test. Again, it also comes under the section of safety. If the alignment of light is not proper, it can lead to the accident. So the proper alignment and proper visibility, as well as the proper intensity of the light, matters a lot whenever we talks about the headlight. So how to perform this particular headlight alignment test? First of all, what we need to do is, we need to check what is the center to center distance of two particular lamps, right? That from the front section we can measure that distance. The another aspect we need to check is the height from the ground level. The bulb which is kept in this particular parabolic reflector, that height from the ground level would be checked. These two readings will be marked on the one wall. Now from that particular wall, vehicle would be kept 25 feet away. We will keep vehicle 25 feet away. The center spot of the lamp will be marked on this particular wall region. Later on, we will start up the lamp. Then we will check what is the area in which the headlight intensity, maximum intensity falls. If we take or try to understand with the schematic view, then it appears like this. We are keeping the vehicle 25 feet away. We had already marked the center positions of the headlamp, right? From by taking this center to center distance and from height from the ground level. Now, whenever we start up with the lamp, maximum light intensity must fall in this particular region. If it is not falling in that, we can open up the bonnet. There is two different screws. By adjusting that, you can make certain correction. Another aspect, or the last thing in the section of headlamp, that is to check the light intensity. If the light is traveling in a proper direction, but still the intensity of the light is not proper, then obviously we may come across the accident. So it is very much desired to check the intensity of light. So what is actually the light intensity? Calculating the intensity of light depends on actually light source and the direction in which it radiates the light. The amount of light which is exactly falling on a surface, is called as a illumination, and it is generally measured in the terms of lux. To measure that, we are having this kind of lux meter. We can keep that across the light emitting source, and from this we can directly get the value of intensity of light. So that's all about this. Thanks for watching. We had end up with the sixth chapter.